Hi everybody, Sergeant Fitness here, just coming to you from my kitchen. I'm going to make the recipe, or I'm going to show you the recipe and show you how I make everything for the coconut ground almond, what I call my breakfast cookie or breakfast cake. You can call it that. So what we're going to make today, or what I'm going to make today, is the banana nut one. Okay, but before I get into all that, let me show you a few of the ingredients you're going to need to have for this, and where you can get most of everything. All right. Obviously, I put cinnamon and nutmeg in mine, so just cinnamon and nutmeg. You're going to need baking powder. Don't need the baking soda. Then we're going to use pure vanilla extract. I'll use that. And then a few of the powders that we're going to use, which is the coconut flour and the almond meal flour. Now the coconut flour and almond meal flour, you're going to want the almond meal flour, you're going to want to get the finely ground one. And then the coconut flour, the organic, is the best one. And these are the Bob's Red Hill, and you can get those in the at Raley's, or if you're in California here, you can go to possibly any other stores, like a health food store or something like that. You don't necessarily, I guess, have to use this brand. I like this brand. It has. It's not bleached. The coconut flour isn't completely white. It's high fiber. It's organic. It looks good, and I enjoy the taste of this a little bit more than I enjoy the taste of all the other things. These are non-sugar. They're not going to have any sugar in, so I'm not looking to. I don't put any sugar in any of it because I'm going to be using bananas and things like that. So we're going to use bananas today. You could use raspberries. I put blueberries in one of mine already. I love the blueberry one. That's probably one of my favorite. And then the chocolate one. And the chocolate one, if you use it for, or actually here I have strawberries too. You can use strawberries as well in there. Blueberries, you can use any fruit. You don't have to use what I'm using. I'm just going to make the banana nut one today. And you're going to be able to use all the other ones. But the chocolate one, if you decide to use the chocolate one or to get the chocolate one, actually there's one brand that I actually approve, and this here you can get at Raley's. It comes in this wrapper here. It's called Sweet Riot. Sweet Riot. It's pure 85% dark chocolate. What I love about it is the fact of this. It's a dark chocolate, and it only has 4 grams of sugar in for the whole bar, and that's awesome. Most of these that you find, you're going to be looking at probably 10, 12 grams of sugar, and it's not really what I like and what I approve. I like just a low sugar. Like I said, you can get this at Raley's. You find it in their the health food side. So you go to the health food side and you're going to be good on there. So this here, remember Sweet Riot? It comes in like a package, looks like this, very colorful on it, so you can use that as well. All right, so let's get going on the banana nut one. So what you're going to want to do is get 2 ripe bananas. I have 2 ripe bananas. If you don't like ripe bananas, you can use anything you like. I'm going to mash these. So I'm going to start in the bowl itself with the bananas. Throw these in the garbage, the peels. Some here's pretty ripe, so it's not really peeling too well. All right, get a fork to mash them. I just mash it up the best I can in here. Any way that you like. You're going to want to use a big enough bowl to make this in. So that way you get this all put together. And then after you get this all mashed up, hopefully everybody can see it. I don't know. Hopefully you don't have to watch me mashing the whole thing, but just mash it up any consistency that you like. I like it completely mashed, so that when I mix it in with the dry ingredients, it kind of mixes up really good. This is the only wet ingredient I put in before I put the other ingredients in. The other ingredients that you'll need as well is going to be the heavy whipping cream. Melted butter. I use a tablespoon. It's actually probably about a tablespoon and a half of melted butter. Okay, and let me measure out first the coconut flour. That's going to be the first thing that I use, and then I'm going to put in after the mashed banana. And that's going to be the coconut flour. I'm going to use probably a good cup of it. My 1 cup thing here. And before I go into the wet bowl, I'm actually going to mix it, or into the bananas, I'm going to mix it into a separate bowl just off to the side, because I want to mix all the cinnamon and nutmeg together in there before. So this is 1 cup that I used, or not, actually it's 3/4 of a cup, and I'm actually going to add a full cup. So I need to get the rest of this here opened up. Pour this into my little bowl. This here goes into my refrigerator. So you're going to need to refrigerate this after you open it. So you're going to want to put it in a container that is okay to be refrigerated in. And I put in these here. I'm just going to add a little bit more, which is that 1/4 cup. That's going to give me a full cup. All right, that is the coconut flour. After the coconut flour, I'm going to add in the almond meal flour. Okay, the almond meal flour is running low on me too, so I bought a whole bunch more. I'm just going to add that to the container before I go in. And you know, the almond meal and the coconut, you're going to find possibly a mixture that you like more than mine. You don't have to use exactly my measurements on this. I use a little bit. I'm making a mess, so nothing like cooking and making a mess. All right, so I use probably 1 and 1 sometimes, or a little bit less. So I'm gonna get actually a cup of each. So it's gonna be a cup of almond flour and a cup of coconut flour. All right. Now cinnamon. There's really no exact amount that you want to use. For me, I put in probably a full tablespoon of cinnamon. Actually, for this one here, I'm going to use a little bit more. I'm going to go probably 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. So I again ran out of cinnamon. I'm got more of it here. So measuring it off, I have measuring off a good 2 tablespoons. All right, I like a lot of cinnamon in mine. If you don't like that much cinnamon, don't put that much cinnamon in. For the nutmeg, I use probably about, maybe a half a teaspoon of nutmeg in there. About a half a teaspoon. Again, if you don't like nutmeg, you don't have to put nutmeg in there either. But if you like it, absolutely you can. All right, so for the baking powder, I use approximately 1 teaspoon. Approximately 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Okay, I may use just a little bit more. You don't want to overdo it on the baking soda or baking powder, excuse me. Otherwise, it's gonna taste like baking powder. It's not gonna be that great. After you get all those dry ingredients together, what I do is I mix it by hand. I just mix it all. I mix all those dry ingredients together. I give them it also helps kind of break the chunks up a little bit, but I want to give them a good mix. You know, just kind of mix them together, making sure that they're all mixed up. Not I get a big clump of cinnamon on one side and not on the other. After that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pour it into my right on top of my banana mixture. It's not going to be a problem. It's going to all mix up. It's going to be really fast. Okay. Get it all out. After that, what we're going to do is get some eggs and then melted butter and heavy whipping cream. And then we are pretty much done, except for putting in the nuts. So what I'm going to use is I'm going to actually add approximately 5 eggs to this mixture. Okay, you're going to crack the eggs. That's going to mean the whites and the yolks, everything together. Okay, put it all in. And if you love the smell of cinnamon, it already has all the cinnamon smell from getting in there. It's going to be nice. And I'm making an egg mess all over myself too. Normally I don't make this much mess, but it's all right. All right, 5 eggs. You're going to want to mix them up. Find my fork again to mix everything. So mix them up before you put in the heavy whipping cream. Get the yolks all broken up. And if you don't want to use all the heavy whipping cream that I use, you can use almond milk. Almond milk goes great with this. It's a different kind of milk, so it's going to go well. The heavy whipping cream, I'm going to use approximately good 1 cup. So this measures out 1 full cup of heavy whipping cream in here, and just pour it in with the eggs. Mix it up. Okay, after that, you're going to put in your vanilla extract. You're going to want to put in as much as you like. It's probably about a teaspoon that I put in. So I approximately put in 1 teaspoon of that. And then I also mix in the melted butter that I have. Okay, you mix that all together with the egg mixture, the heavy whipping cream. And the melted butter you don't want hot when you put it in there. So I had melted that earlier and let it cool down a little bit. Once you get that all kind of mixed up and mixed together, just take the fork out. I grab a tablespoon, and then I start pouring all this in with my dry ingredients and the banana, and start to mix this all up. Okay, I just dump it all in. It gets mixed up anyway. Some people would want to dump it in slower. I don't dump it that slow. The last part of this that you're going to put in are the walnuts. I put in half walnuts. I crushed them up, put them in a little bag, and took my fist to them just on the counter, and just kind of just broke them up a little bit more. But I don't add those in until I get the mixture mixed up. And the consistency that you want on this mixture is kind of like when you're making cookies. Not that stiff. You want it a little bit, not runny, but still stiff, but not a cookie stiff. More probably like a cake stiff. Okay, that's all mixed together. So I'm going to pour the walnuts in. And again, if you want to put banana and other fruits, banana strawberry, you could have used banana strawberry in it at this time. And you could have put it in at that point and made it. So these are all done. I preheated the oven at 400 degrees. So if you haven't preheated your oven, go ahead and preheat it at 400 degrees. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay all these out on a cookie sheet next. So I'm going to get some of this stuff out of the way, and then get the cookie sheet out here. But before I do that, I want to clean off the counter a little bit, and then we'll be good. So you can just leave that running those. I made a good mess, didn't I? Okay, I'm back. So what you're going to want to do is take now your cookie sheet, whatever kind of cookie sheet that you have. This is a non-stick. I'm going to try this today. I've never used a non-stick one, so I'm hoping it's going to be okay. Otherwise, what I'll do is I'll put like some olive oil down on this. Not olive oil, excuse me, coconut oil on top of this to help grease the pan a little bit. Let me just show you how I do that. So that way, if you aren't using a non-stick, you can put it on with the, so I just have regular organic virgin coconut oil. That'll be okay to cook with on top. I just pour some on top of the cookie sheet here. Then I take a towel, or what you can do is just use your fingers and just spread it around. Spread it all around, get it everywhere, so that the cookies don't stick to this. Otherwise, you're going to have a hard time getting the cake off of this, or the thing off of all this. It'll be very difficult. Okay, once you got that all taken care of, what I do is I take a big chunk of this and I start laying them out on the cookie sheet. Okay, with that tablespoon I used, I just start laying them out. They don't have to be anything fancy. I just take kind of big globs of it, put it right down on the cookie sheet, and then it'll cook up. I completely missed that one. Getting it all over. You can make it small, you can make them big as you want. I'm going to be making these bigger as I go along here, as I get this kind of all pieced out. They'll spread a little bit, not much, when you put them in the oven. But I'm going to use one cookie sheet to put it all on. I make big ones, I make small ones, doesn't matter the size. Just use it all up in your bowl. And once you get it all taken care of, I'm just going to wipe this off here so it doesn't bake right on that too bad. Okay? Once you have them all kind of situated on the pan, they don't have to look anything fancy because they're going to come out kind of like looking like a scone almost, or really an odd shaped scone, but any kind of shape that you want. You could probably put these in cupcake containers and do the same thing. I haven't cooked them in cupcakes, so I haven't been able to do that. So once you're done with this, you're all set. All you have to do is stick it in the oven. I'm going to stick it in the oven at 400 degrees for 35 minutes. So 400 degrees for 35 minutes. And then once they're all done, I'll be back to show you the rest. All right, we're back. It's 35 minutes. So let's grab those bad boys out of the oven and see what they look like. Okay. All right. New pan, new things. It looks like they came out a little more brown than what I normally see them. So I may want to cut the time down with this new pan. However, I like them a little crispy on top, so these are going to be perfect for me. But all you have to do is basically take them off now, serve them and eat them. You can put like a little bit of like a fruit topping on it if you want. And if you do a fruit topping, what you're going to want to do is take a blender, and especially like a high-speed blender that can really blend the fruit, like say blueberries or like strawberries. Bananas are going to be too thick, so not a banana, but a strawberry, blueberry, raspberry, some type of berry, and just go ahead and blend it at a high speed till it's like watery. No sugar, don't add anything like that. The fruits already has it, so you can pour it over the top and have yourself like a fruit topping on the top of that. Otherwise, if you don't want any fruit topping, you can let these cool off and then eat them, or eat them hot. I like to put mine in the refrigerator. I like them cool the next day. It seems to like get all the flavors blended in with the mix and everything, and it really tastes really, really good. But these are great for breakfast. These are great for an afternoon snack because they're going to be high in protein, low in carbs that we're looking to keep our carb intake down. So this is going to be fantastic. They have bananas in, so it has some of the fruit and some of the sugar, but you're going to be okay with that. So check out the recipes. You're going to be able to do a lot of things with these. I'm going to start to become a little bit more creative with them, and put like maybe some spinach and dried tomato in there and things like that to kind of spice them up and give them a little bit different flavor, and see what happens with the different mix, and see if we can kind of make something even more creative. So check back. I'm going to have a couple other recipes for you as well, so keep checking on the recipes, and I'll keep sending out emails to let you know when there are new recipes anyway. So thanks again, and I hope you enjoy these breakfast muffins, or you want to call breakfast cookies or breakfast cakes. So we'll see you next time.